Hello, everybody. I wanted to come on here today. Something I've been thinking about lately. I was reading in Matthew with Yeshua or Jesus, and he was healing people, and people were coming to him asking him, you know, just come with me, just come and see, just come and touch. The lady with the blood flow for 12 years, she just all she had to do was touch the hem of her garment. There was one who's my daughter's sick, just please come. You can heal her. You know, how much faith do you have? And I was sitting here listening, not listening, but I was just sitting here reading those and I was thinking there was one, I think he was a Roman commander of some sort, and he was like, if you would just say, just speak it, you ain't even got to come, just speak it and heal my child. And there's even in the Bible it tells you, if your faith is strong enough, you can move mountains. How strong is your faith? In the world we're in now, I know it's so hard to see and have that strength, that faith, just continue to build that faith in God. I know it's so hard because there's so much around us that's going on, things that constantly try to pull you down, pull you in a different direction and things. I was sitting here today and I was struggling with some stuff today and it was really hard. But I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, it's like, how much faith am I putting in God to pull me out of things like this, where stuff like this does not grab a hold of you? Excuse me. Sorry. How much faith do you have to pull you out of that? Are you letting Him pull you out of that? Or are you trying to pull yourself out of a situation? Do you put it before God and say, here, I'm leaving it for you, Lord, just take the burden from me? You handle this so that I can get through this, because I can't do it by myself. I need you to help me. I need you there beside me. Even, I was sitting here thinking about it the other day, and, it's, I was praying. I was like, I need you beside me, holding my hand, guiding me, showing me where to go. Yes, I need you to do that. But I'm giving it to you to show me what you're wanting me to do, to show me which direction you're wanting me to go. Not just me trying to figure it out on my own, not just me trying to sit here and be like, okay, I can do this. I've got to figure out this. My money's short here and I can't, I don't have a way of doing it. What am I going to do? And it's not, that shouldn't be on us. We should be at a point in our faith where all we got to say is, Lord, here it is. I'm giving it to you. This is what we need. The mustard seed of faith. How small is a mustard seed? I've never seen a mustard seed, but it's one of the smaller seeds that's out there. And let me tell you, I've seen some teeny tiny seeds out there. Them things are small now. You got some, you can't hardly tell, it's a seed or a speck of dirt, a piece of pepper, and so as you're going throughout your week, I want y'all to think about these things. How much faith are you putting into God? Are you giving Him every burden that is upon you? to him so that he can guide you. I think when you leave those things in front of you, I think they put blinders on to some extent. It's almost like because you're carrying those, it's almost like you can't see because you can't you know when you carry something heavy on your back, what happens? You're leaning over, you're not sitting up straight, you're not looking ahead of you, you're looking down. So therefore, if you're carrying all this burden, all this weight on your back, how are you going to see what's ahead of you? How are you going to see him standing there saying, I'm right here, come to me? You're not going to be able to because you're looking down. You've got to give those burdens, give those issues, the problems, the struggles you're going through. You've got to put your faith in God so that he can help you through those. Because on top of that, if you're not willing to accept the help, you're not going to receive the help. You know, your faith don't just go on to giving him your burdens, but you got to be willing to accept. Think about it, it's almost, and I don't know if this is really per se a good term to use, but it's almost a give and take relationship. Um, he gives and you take, you give and he takes. You know, there's things that he wants you to do. He wants to give you things. He wants to bless you. And I'm not saying he won't bless you if you don't do, but if you're not doing what he's asking, you might miss out on the blessings he's wanting to give you. So if you've got a little nag to go, you see somebody walking down on the road, down the side of the road, and you don't help them, you might be missing that blessing. Because there might be something you need to speak to that person. There might be somebody that needs help with their groceries, picking them up and, putting them in the back of their car. Excuse me. I'm tired today. It's almost a give and take relationship. You've got to be willing to give and you've got to be willing to receive. It's not just that you give to him, but you've got to be able to open to receive what he wants to give you. Is your faith that strong that you can humble yourself enough to receive things? Even if it's he sends somebody else to you to give you. You've got to be humble enough and have enough faith that he's doing it for a reason. It might be something that's going to build for you later down the road. It might be something that's going to be something just around the corner. And you never know. You never know what he's going to put in front of you. I was praying the other weekend, last weekend, and I was in a group prayer with some ladies, and we've been praying over our congregation that our seats would be filled. And I was praying the other day. I opened up in prayer because I have to go to get ready to leave. So I'm not able to stay on too long because we're usually in conversation quite a while. But I was praying and I realized that the seats aren't going to be filled with just people. It's going to be filled with the Spirit. The Spirit is going to fill that place. But you have to have the faith to know that he's going to do that. And I don't know if there might be somebody in there that might not be on that same page, if that hinders that. And it may, I don't know. But we should all be in one mind, one accord. We should all be on not per se the same level of faith, but we should be all in agreement with the things that should happen. And faith is in different levels, and think of it, If you think of Jacob in the dream he had with the ladder, that, a ladder going from here to heaven, from the earth to heaven, I want you to think about that in a sense. You know, each step is a different level. It's You're reaching a completely different level with God. You're reaching a different understanding with God, a different emotion with God, a different principle, a different learning. There's so many different things that you can get, and step closer on a completely different level that you just don't realize that is there, because we have so much blinders. We have so much stuff that's going on in this world that we can't see. We have to put those things and get them out of there, to give those burdens, so that we're not worried about them, so that we're not struggling with them, so that we ain't sitting here, fighting ourselves, fighting our spouse, fighting our kids. But we need to open our eyes and see what he has in store, because there's so much that's there that we can't see, because we've got too much blocking our view. We can't look up because so much is sitting on our shoulders. Just imagine, it says that Yeshua is going to have the weight of the world on his shoulders. Can you imagine? And he sits up straight. So if we carry very little, it might seem like a lot to us, but compared to what he carries on his shoulders, our burden is light. It's not that heavy. It might feel really heavy. That's why we give it to him, because he can carry it. We have to give it over to him. So I want y'all to think about that this week. I want y'all to, any issues you might be going through, y'all just give them over to him. Don't worry about them. Don't think about, pray about them. Give them to him and pray about it. Be consistent in your prayers with it. But don't just sit here and be like, here, I'm giving them to you. I'm not thinking about them anymore. I'm not going to worry about them. I'm not saying to sit here and worry about them. I'm not sitting here saying you ain't got to think about it, because I know everybody is different and everybody has a different thought process on how they work through things. And if it's one of those ones where you have to talk it out, to God several times, multiple times, whatever, then do that. But don't let it worry you. Don't let it stress you. Just pray about it and give it to him. If it's the only time you think about it's when you pray about it, then let it be. He'll fulfill what he needs to fulfill in the time that he wants to fulfill it, because it's for a purpose that is fulfilled in his time and not in our time. We cannot assume because it's not filled the next day, the next week, the next month, that it's not going to get answered. But in his time. So give it to him. Let him take that burden. Bring your faith closer. Think about him more. Pray on it. Don't let your faith hinder just because of things going on in the world, just because the weight of your burden on your back is getting heavy. Don't think that he's not there with you. You have to give it to him. He's not just going to, per se, take it from you. So make sure you give that burden to him. Everything you do. I pray y'all have a very blessed week. May he be with you in everything that y'all do this week. Make sure you give him the glory for everything that he does. Thank him even when you don't see anything that needs thanking for, Lord. Just We know we thank you for waking up for the day, to being able to get up and walk around, to be able to get up and eat, to be able to have lights on and heater and air and fans and family around you and whatever it is. Give him thanks for everything. Have a blessed week. And I bless y'all.